Hola capos, long time no see. My name is Andrei and I'm the community manager for Cartel Tycoon. A couple of weeks ago we've gathered your questions and today we'll answer some of them. While I'm doing this, our team is hard at work on our next update, which is shaping up to be quite big. And maybe today I'll reveal some of the features that are coming. Maybe. Let's get into it. In your questions, there were some repeats from our last Q&As, so I'll answer those questions briefly at the start. Multiplayer. As we've said before, with a small team, we have to have priorities. And right now we want to make single player the best it can be. So multiplayer is on the back burner for now. And we hope to get back to it at the end of 2023. Same thing with mods. Implementing them into our system is a hefty task. That can potentially bring development to a halt. So right now we're looking for the best possible way to do it without damaging and derailing our other plans for the project. And we saw all your awesome suggestions for mods. Don't you worry about that. And now let's get into other questions. Just out of pure curiosity, what's a feature or part of the game that you thought would be simple or straightforward, but that turned out to be difficult or confusing to make? I've asked around the dev team about that, and I've got several different responses. The top two were combat update and quest events. Combat update was pretty minuscule when we first talked about it. We simply wanted to introduce stamina into the game, but it quickly became apparent that this wasn't going to cut it. So we made a new building, 20 plus new abilities, added weapons, new status effects, and so on and so forth. The design document for the combat rework had so many iterations that the end result is completely different from what we've envisioned, with a small balance change at the start. And the second feature is quest events. What started as, hey, let's make 4 or 5 events to make the game more interesting, turned into developing a completely new system under the hood. With 100 plus events inside that adapt to player actions and expansion to make the world of Cartel Tycoon more interesting and lively. Are you planning any changes to the combat system in the future? Buffs possibly? If we're talking about the combat feature as a whole, we don't have big plans for it currently, but we continue monitoring your feedback and suggestions on that matter. On a smaller scale, we're planning a few balance tweaks to the endurance and gang power across different mods and difficulties. And if we're talking about components of the combat system like abilities and weapons, we have some buffs and changes in the works, and we hope to deliver at least some of the changes in the next update. We've got a lot of feedback since the update release, so now we have a more clear picture on what works and what doesn't from the player's perspective. Are you planning to nerf diplomacy in some way? After the combat update, we've noticed that a lot more players are trying to peacefully resolve conflicts with gangs, by trading with them, talking, and eventually acquiring. Before the combat update, that feature was largely overlooked, save for some insane speedrun strategies and among our more experienced players. Combat update changed that and will also be updating the tutorial to introduce this mechanic better. On that note, we don't want diplomacy to become the go-to strategy, and we want to make both of the routes contextually viable from the early game to the end game, to make either of them make sense in the circumstances, because we want players to decide between them during the gameplay. So we're looking at slight balance tweaks that make the peaceful route a bit harder and the combat route a bit more desirable.
Alliances with other gangs are possible soon?
I don't know about soon, but that's something that's on our radar. We want to add more ways for the player to engage with the world and its characters, so
Alliances
are something that has come to our mind. We're working on an initial design right now, but as you know from question number 1, it can be a long road from design to actual implementation. Meanwhile,
alliances
aren't the only new way of engagement we're thinking about. We're also playing around with the idea of government forces attacking enemy gangs, not just your cartel. We're trying out different ways of implementing it and are just thinking if it's possible to make this cool and exciting without breaking the balance and, the code of the project. But right now I just wanted to give you a small sneak peek in what changes we're considering for the game. What are your plans for survival? Survival mode is a foundation of Cartel Tycoon as a whole. The development started with it and everything else came after. But at the same time, the core of survival mode hasn't been changed. Right now we have several ideas of our own and are also consulting with our more experienced players on that matter, to find a way to make survival mode more engaging. I can just say that we loved some of the ideas we tried for survival mode and are going to implement them into a story campaign that will be a part of the San Rafael expansion. Oh, that reminds me. Is the new map coming on the next update? Our new map, San Rafaela, is still being worked on and won't be a part of the next Cartel Tycoon update. It's the biggest expansion we've created for Cartel Tycoon so far, and it will be available on its own as a DLC. The map isn't the only part of the DLC. There will be new playable and non-playable characters, a completely new story campaign, and more. We're aiming to release it during the summer. Before the release, we really want to organize another playtest because we've got a lot of valuable feedback from the first one, and we want to give all of you another chance to try the map before its release. And we just love sharing the work in progress stuff with all of you. Creating a new map is one of our hardest endeavors because we want the gameplay to differ between the two of them. And we want San Rafaela to feel truly special. Be on the lookout for future announcements regarding San Rafaela. We can't wait to share more with you.
If you don't release console edition soon, I will send the DEA on you so fast! Do you have an estimate date for console edition?
Whoa, slow down there, partner. I put my hands where you can see them. Console edition is moving at a steady pace with the help of some awesome folks from Tiny Build. Right now we expect it to be ready by the fall of 2023. And we can't wait to share more on this topic in the future. Now, lower your gun please and don't shoot me. Do you try to aim for the largest install base for a chance of high profit, or does the platform itself inspire the core design of Cartel Tycoon's idea? I'll be honest here. Me and the other devs reread this question multiple times, but we still have no idea what is being asked, so yes? Maybe? I hope that you learned more about the game, our upcoming releases, and maybe a bit about us during this Q&A. Just to recap and add a bit more context. Our plans for this year are as follows: a major update and the San Rafaela DLC in the summer, another major update and the console release in the fall. Of course, some things might move around and we also might add some more updates down the line, but right now our plans look like this. That's all for this Q&A session, Capos. And if you thought of an awesome question that needs to be answered, head to our Discord. Me and other team members are there every day, so we can answer it there. Have a great day and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. More news and announcements are coming. Our next update is coming this summer, and we can't wait for you to see it. Andre out. Bye-bye.
La pena